Keep on.
And welcome to another episode of Ask the Wiz. I'm your humble host, Dr. Ken the Wiz Reeves, saying thank you so much for joining us doing this, another edition of Ask the Wiz, the radio broadcast. You, my beloved listeners, have ventured inside the classroom without walls. Well, other student family members, we will be getting P.A.I.D. today as a result of the ancestors and the creator blessing us with positions that are currently generating from 43% to over 200. That's right, 273% profit for you, my beloved Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute family. At a point in time when people checking accounts, saving accounts, money market accounts, T-bills, CDs, and the like aren't even generating 3% per year, here we are about to receive double digits and triple digit profits, all courtesy of the ancestors and the creator. And then also doing this, the first hour of the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute Class Without Walls radio broadcast, you truly will be revealing noteworthy insider trading activity of the day, followed up with the list of today's top 10 trending stocks. And then, family members, yours truly will reveal multiple dividend-paying stocks that will get you P.A.I.D. for years to come. We're talking about set it and forget it positions. Now, I need for you to take copious notes, take down the information, and utilize this information to get you P.A.I.D. And I'm going to follow up with a list of under-the-radar dividend stock-paying positions that will also get you P.A.I.D. So you're going to have 6 positions, 3 that maybe some of you know about, and 3 that I know for sure that many of you do not know about. We're talking about those under-the-radar positions that will get you P.A.I.D. consistently. And because these are dividend-paying positions, they all lend themselves to dividend option trifecta effect strategy of the Ask the Wiz, which means you will be able to get P.A.I.D. from these positions multiple times utilizing the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute dividend option trifecta effect strategy. We're talking about micro, and we're talking about macro positions. I'm going to give you also, I'm going to give you an ETF, a dividend ETF macro position that will get you P.A.I.D. as well. Now, as we roll into the second hour, I need for you to certainly take your piss notes, because yours truly is going to lay out exactly how the uber wealthy get P.A.I.D. via the stock market, how your stockbroker is not your friend, and several of the tricks of the trade they utilize to take your money and they get P.A.I.D. as the stockbrokers keep you broke. And then we're going to go over one of the best trading and investing books that you could have in your library. That's right. One that was written several years ago by a man that made millions of dollars during his day, lost millions of dollars thereafter, and turned right back around and made it back again. When I was in graduate school and then afterwards when I worked on Wall Street, I studied this person intently, and I'm going to give you some information on this gentleman and his book that will allow you to get P.A.I.D. It pulls back the proverbial veil, if you will, of trading and investing, and it brings you out of the darkness and into the light, such that you can get P.A.I.D. consistently and blow past becoming rich and move straight to becoming wealthy. Now, I need for you to record this portion of the radio broadcast if you have that capacity. And like always, our radio broadcast is put on our website at www.askthewiz.info for your perusal at your leisure. But you need to pick up that phone and you need to call somebody to tell them if they're sick and tired of having more month than money at the end of each month, they need to tune in right NOW, because this is indeed going to be a liberating Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast. And then we have a very special guest, a very, very special gentleman indeed. His name is Brian Cox, and he is the chairman and CEO of K6, a publicly traded company on the OTC. We're going to bring this gentleman on our radio broadcast with his avant-garde thought process and management style. And we're going to reveal something that you have not been had access to before. A company that is merging all the modern technologies with telecommunications that will get you P.A.I.D. Brian Cox, Chairman and CEO of K6, during the second hour of the Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast. Let's go to it, Wealth Institute family members and listeners alike, and let's make Wall Street pay us right here on Main Street. again, peace and blessings be upon each and every one of you. This is your humble servant, Dr. Ken the Wiz Reeves, saying thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day. Now, before we get started, we would be remiss if we didn't give all praise, honor, and glory to the ancestors and the Creator for this day that allow us to develop the third eye, the eye that can see the invisible, and then concurrently develop the third ear, the ear that can hear the inaudible. This in turn allows us to stay in contact with the Most High and the ancestors through that utilized conduit that is known as spirit. For as both you and I know, without spirit, we are absolutely nothing.
Heart and soul, body and mind, but the very essence of our existence is spirit. What is it about the human spirit that produces the courage and the strength to beat insurmountable odds, to survive and endure despite unbelievable circumstances? Our spirit embodies the very essence of our existence. We believe that it has been handed down from generation to generation. Beginning in Africa, the motherland, where for eons, we believe that the Creator heard us when we cried, saw us when we faltered, and helped us along the way. And now, more than ever, it is time for us to get back in touch with the spirit that lives inside us all. Because without it, we are less than whole. But with it, there is nothing we cannot overcome. For the essence of our existence is spirit.
Amen and ashe. Now, for those of you that want to authenticate, for those of you that want to confirm the prophets that the ancestors and the Creator are about to bestow upon the beloved ASK THE WIZ family, then we beseech you to engage in what we call interactive radio by simply going to www.yahoofinance.com. That's www.yahoofinance.com. And as your truly gives out each and every one of these symbols, all you have to do is punch them in yourself, and you too can bear witness to the prophets that the ancestors and the Creator are bestowing upon the beloved ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute family. Wealth Institute family members, portfolios open, please, for it is now time to get P.A.I.D. And now, family members, let's go to work and let's make Wall Street pay us right here on Main Street. Now, family members, what I like to do today is focus on just 3 positions. While we have other plays that are paying us as we speak, and you need to be monetizing those concurrently, but I want to also stress to you, and we went over this yesterday in the ASK THE WIZ Institute Virtual Trading Room, 3 positions that are reacting directly to market conditions more so than normal. And that is our oil-related positions. Our oil-related positions. We're talking about the USO, the OIL, and that gasoline position, UGA. Now, it was yesterday that yours truly remind you that you needed to tighten up those trailing stops to 10%. 10% max on your trailing stops because oil, and we're talking about that crude, had indeed lifted above $50 and had made its way towards $51. But we told you yesterday in that classroom at Wall's virtual trading room that people will be monetized in their actualized profits, and that you needed to tighten up your trailing stops to at least 10%. And then yesterday, you received a Wiz alert indicating that you should monetize that OIL that generated 85% profit, that UGA that generated 102% profit, and that USO that generated 92% profit. Now, once again, I beseech you to move your trailing stops to 10% and go get your money off the table. Oil is moving to the downside, albeit slightly, but it is a beginning of a downward progression. So what we want to do right now is we want to sell close market order on at least one of our contracts, and we're talking about in our October positions. You should be looking at your October positions, okay? to get P.A.I.D. from all of this run-up, that actualized profit in our oil and our gasoline-related position. And boy, we playing the markets like a Stradivarius and getting P.A.I.D. But you need to then go ahead and don't look a gifted horse in the mouth. You tighten up that trailing stop and you go get your money. You get P.A.I.D. from that OIL, talking about that October $4 call, that UGA, talking about that October $26 call, and that USO October $9 call. You sell the closed market order on each one of your contracts. You're trailing stop at 3 to 5% below the settle close index, and you bang that beat and get P.A.I.D. right here inside the classroom without walls. Go to work, family.
Dome. I got the microphone, soul, saxophone, trombone, even harmonica. Give me a dope beat, and I'm down with you. Lay up, track for track. All your people on the side, the front, the back. Get up, get into this, cause this is worth getting with. In other words, this is it. This compact dictionary defines this music necessary. Techno, pop, funk, hip hop, to bebop. Technically speaking, we rock the street. A combination of sound. Put this together to get down. The first verse is complete, and there's two more left. So yo, let's bang that beat. Come on and bang that beat. Bang that beat. Yo, bang that beat. Come on, bang that beat. Bring the beat back, Mac Daddy on the map, on the snap. I ain't trapped with the beat that's back, cause I'ma push up to dance. Take a chance to handle me. I'm on the mic and you can't dismantle me. Jump into a rhythm with a rhyme and break off. In other words, I expect you to take off the do the Lenny hop the wop, whatever you choose. Just wear out the shoes. Ain't no clues to this here demonstration for your delegation. Information, deep made the beats for you to tap to. Selma to sing and free to rap to. The clues in effect, you can never diss them. This is the one for your booming system. I rhyme to unwind, so move your feet. Everybody in the house, come on and bang that beat.
It's that USO, UGA, and that OIL. Get that MONEY. Crude on the open market moving slightly to the downside. Crude on the open markets moving slightly to the downside. We see now what others see eventually, and we get P.A.I.D. Get that money right in OW. Noteworthy insider trading activity of the day, followed up with the list of the top 10 twin stocks. Up next. I want to remind those of you that are members of the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute, we'll be in the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute virtual trading room tomorrow from 9:30 until 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, getting P.A.I.D.
Music, a very good form of expression. Well, here's a funky lesson. Hit the floor like there ain't no tomorrow. Wipe away your tears and sorrow. Come together as one, everybody have fun. To get the job done, settle your nerves, stifle your quarrels. In other words, beat up your morals. Freedom, state of mind, pure creativity. Even in captivity, let yourself go, let your mind be free. Don't worry about me, cause I'll be alright. What you think that I came for? To help you get raw. So get out, get into this hip-hop tree. And yo, bang that beat. Yo, bang that beat. Come on, bang that beat. Alright. Everybody, let's bang that beat. In the house, bang that beat.
And now, family,
We in effect. Totally.
let's track some people who decided to bang that beat and get paid today.
See ya.
We're talking about noteworthy insider trading activity of the day. Now, family members, you best rest assured that the people on Wall Street, they are not playing. They are all about getting P.A.I.D. by any means necessary. And until you understand and overstand their thought process, you too will continue to aid and abet their acquisition of wealth, and you won't even know that you're doing it. Because when you buy goods, products, or services anywhere, both near and far, somebody is getting P.A.I.D. You're adding to their wealth while you're spending your money to facilitate your particular state of being at that particular time. Think like the uber wealthy and become uber wealthy. I want to bring your attention to Richard Maccabee. Richard Maccabee, he sits on the board of directors of Mattel, spelled M-I-T-E-L Networks, Mattel Networks, trades under the symbol MITL. And today he sold off 132,500 shares of his own company stock very quietly at a price point of $8.04. And he got P.A.I.D. $1,068,800 today in one day. That's Richard McBee, board of director member of Mattel Networks, symbol MITL, made $1,068,800 today by selling off 132,500 shares of his own company stock at a price point of $8.04 flat. And then I want to bring your attention to Henry Stansberry. Henry Stansberry. Now, he's the vice president and chief technology officer of Intuit Inc. Now, you know Intuit Inc. It pays us very often here in ASK Wealth Institute. It trades under the symbol INTU. And earlier today, Henry decided to get P.A.I.D., so he sold off 28,048 shares of his own company stock at a price point of $146.19. And Henry made today, in one day, $4,100,337. That's Henry Stansberry, Vice President and Chief Technology Officer of Intuit Inc. Trades under the symbol INTU, making $4,100,337 by selling off 28,048 shares of his own company stock at a price point of $146.19 flat. Next, I want to bring to your attention the top 10 trending stocks for today. We're talking about Tuesday, September the 26th, 2017. Now, for those of you that are on the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute tweet list, well, you received this information earlier today, and many of you, upon completion of the appropriate drill down, have actualized these positions and then monetized the position subsequent to that, and you've gotten P.A.I.D. Now, if you too would like to receive actionable intelligence each and every day that the U.S. markets are open, then all you have to do is go to our website at www.askthewiz.info. That's www.askthewiz.info. And upon arrival on our homepage, go to the right-hand side of the homepage. You'll see the tweet submitted by yours truly. Simply click on follow us. Put in your pertinent information, and each and every day that the U.S. markets open, you too will receive actionable intelligence that upon completion of the appropriate drill down will get you P.A.I.D. It's the ASK THE WIZ Wall Street tweet list. Get on it today. And now let us take a look at the top 10 trending stocks for today. Once again, Tuesday, September 26, 2017. Number one position held down by IZEA Inc. IZEA Inc. trades under the symbol IZEA. Number two position held down by Ford Motor Company, symbol F. Number three position of today's top 10 trending stocks is Cisco Systems, trades under the symbol CSCO. Number four position is held down by Transocean, trades under the symbol RIG. Number five position is held down by ATWWI Corporation, symbol ITUS. Number six position held down by Petróleo Brasileiro, symbol PBR. Number seven position held down by Intel, symbol INTC. Number eight position held down by Encana, symbol ECA. Number nine position held down by Hellos and Matheson Analytics, symbol HMNY. And the number 10 position of today's top 10 trending stocks is held down by Rice Energy, symbol RICE. So there you have it, a list of today's top 10 trending stocks for Tuesday, September 26, 2017. Let me repeat them once again quickly. IZEA Inc., symbol IZEA. Ford Motor Company, symbol F. Cisco Systems, symbol CSCO. That's CSCO. Transocean, symbol RIG. ITUS Corporation, symbol ITUS. Petróleo Brasileiro, symbol PBR. Then we have Intel, symbol INTC, Encana, symbol ECA, and Hellos and Matheson Analytics, symbol HMNY. We also have Rice Energy rounding out our top 10, symbol RICE. Now, family members and listeners alike, I need for you to contact anybody and everybody that you know that is serious about getting P.A.I.D. that is currently on the plantation, aka the job, and wondering how they are going to break out the continual cycle that they're in with regards to their economics and their life. They need to be listening right, NOW, because the information that you're going to receive today will get you P.A.I.D. not tomorrow, not the next day, but today. You utilize the information and you get paid now, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Yesterday has come and gone. You need to get P.A.I.D. now, not in the great by and by. So you'd be well advised. If you're a true friend or you're a true loved one, okay, and you consider yourself to be that to someone else, then you need to pick up the phone and give that person a call and tell them, no matter what you're doing, if you're on your cell phone, and everybody has their cell phone with them, or you're on any other type of internet-enabled device, what you need to do is go ahead, quick, fast, in a hurry, and go to www.askthewiz.info, okay? Log in, because there's a link right on our homepage. You need to log in, and you need to get ready to take some information that will allow you to not only obtain, but also maintain your economic liberation, because the time is now, and you need to be getting P.A.I.D. because at the end of the day, nobody cares about you with regards to your economic prowess as it relates to you moving upward and in front and blowing past riches and going to wealth. You must care about yourself enough to obtain information that will allow you to do just that. Because the people out here, like I just indicated to you, they are not playing. They are getting P.A.I.D. and they realize that they've got to have that MONEY, because nothing on this planet is free. You must do for self. And the time is now. Because as I said, the markets and money never sleeps. Your access to the markets and money may be regulated to a certain periods of time, but the uber wealthy, their money never sleeps. And money around the world is like energy. It never sits still. It moves and it morphs 24/7, 365. So you would be well advised to go ahead, and you need to get that MONEY. Pick up that phone, give somebody a call, and help liberate them. Talking about economic liberation. Right, NOW. And how are you going to get that done? You need that MONEY. You're inside the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute, Classroom Without Walls, radio broadcast. Let's go to work. pick up that phone. You need to call someone because they can learn how to get that M-O-N-E-Y right here inside the classroom without walls.
Talking about money, money, money. We need some money. We need some money. Talking about moolah, yeah. We need some money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. We need some money. We need some money. I got moolah, yeah. I got moolah, yeah.
Up next, 3 set it and forget it dividend paying stocks that will get you that M-O-N-E-Y. Talking about that money, y'all. 3 dividend paying positions. Up next. Dow currently up 13 points. S&P currently up 0.11%. NASDAQ up 0.35%. I need you to get ready to take copious notes. We're going to work in here inside the Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast. Going to get you some N-O-N-E-Y. Now, if you have any youth in your life, any youngsters in your life that you want to have them know about that M-O-N-E-Y, they need to be listening. That's right. We need to educate our youth. They're our future, and they have to know how to get P.A.I.D. in this capitalistic system. Let's go to work, family. Let's feed the family by getting P.A.I.D. Knowledge spread across the village about that M-O-N-E-Y. Yeah, make it some family time. Sit down and talk about that money. We don't care about Atlanta Housewives, Dancing with the Stars, Family Feud. No, we need to sit down as a family, as a village, and learn how to get P.A.I.D. and get that money. Thus is the situation. Let's do it right, N-O-W. 3 dividend paying positions. Set it and forget it. Pen and paper in hand. Recording apparatus should be on. Now, family members and listeners alike, there ain't nothing free about freedom. It's been like that since the beginning of time and will continue to be like that. Nothing free about freedom. And since we know that is indeed a fact, then we must get that M-O-N-E-Y. And the formula is simple. See, you plow your money into healthy yielding dividend paying stocks. Like the 3 no-brainer positions that I'm about to give you that I have untapped for YOU today. Once you consider these positions upon completion of the appropriate drill down for inclusion into your portfolio, all you got to do is sit back and let the outperformance profits roll right on in. Now, time and time again, I stress the importance of substantial dividend yield because low begrudging payouts simply won't do. A recent study examined whether there's any tangible difference between holding dividend stocks and non-dividend paying stocks. And the results show several very, very real and tangible benefits. The primary takeaway was indeed that everybody that wants to trade and invest must have high yield and dividend paying stocks in their portfolio if they want to maintain their economic advantage in the world of trading and investing. High dividend payers have the least risk, yet return over 1.5% more per year than non-dividend paying stocks. Now, today I'm going to highlight high dividend payers to show you the brilliance of this study that recently came out. In data from July 1963 through December 2014, this group of researchers that put out this report didn't just look at stocks that pay dividends and stocks that don't, but sliced and diced dividend payers into several groups: non-dividend payers, low dividend payers, and high dividend payers, and extreme dividend payers. Now, that latter group typically included extremely financially distressed companies with unsustainable payouts. In other words, it's not just enough, family members and listeners alike, for a company to pay some token offering. No, this research report that I read exalts those companies that put you and me, the ASK THE WIZ Institute family and listeners alike, as traders and investors, first. These companies put us first with real substantial distributions, With the exception of the late 1990s, which witnessed a tech bubble, the performance superiority of the high dividend paying positions that I'm about to give you has been remarkably consistent over time. So if you really want to hunker down into safe high yielders that will outperform everything else for years to come, where should you look? Well, you should look at a company called the Southern Company. Write that down, symbol SO, the Southern Company. Currently paying a dividend yield of over 4.7%. That beats our 3%, inflation index. And this company gets P.A.I.D. quietly over and over and over again. And we'll do the same for you. Now, unless some lucky scientist trips over a new form of limitless energy that costs precisely nothing to produce, utility companies, beloved, are going to be unshakable resources of income for decades into the future. The Southern Company, symbol SO, is one of the utility sector's biggest members. Now, it's headquartered right here in Atlanta, Georgia, and serves customers across 7 states through subsidiaries such as Alabama Power, Georgia Power, and Southern Nuclear. Now, at this moment, the company is pushing ahead to try to complete what would be the first new U.S. nuclear plant since 1979. Now, what traders and investors love about the Southern Company is how boringly predictable this company is. By virtue of being essentially a monopoly, this company can tick up prices every couple of years to pad its top and bottom lines. You'll never get explosive performance from this particular company, but you don't need it if you can rely on dependable improvement year after year after year. Now, sure enough, revenues have climbed 14% in total over the past 3 years for the Southern Company, but that doesn't even hold a candle to the 46% leap in net income across the same time period. Now, the dividend legacy of the Southern Company, once again, listeners and family members, that symbol is SO. The dividend legacy of SO is something to be proud of, with uninterrupted payments since 1949. I said this company has paid dividends uninterrupted since 1949, and 16 consecutive payout increases. family members. You want to get paid like the uber wealthy? The Southern Company, symbol SO. And Wealth Institute family members is a dividend payer, which means what? Our dividend option trifecta effect strategy is completely applicable for the Southern Company, symbol SO. Let me give you another position that will get you P.A.I.D. Get you paid while you sleep, okay? And that's important, you get paid while you sleep, because if you have to get up to perform a task, duty, or service to get P.A.I.D., then you are making someone else wealthy. But when you can get paid from your thoughts, because the mind controls the behind, and you have money that works for you 24/7, 365, even when the behind is resting, then you are engaging in wealth acquisition and wealth maintenance behavior. Get your children and the youth close by so they can hear this radio broadcast, because I'm giving you and hopefully them information that will allow you to not only obtain but also maintain your economic liberation. Position number 2, talking about dividend paying position that will get you P.A.I.D, is Pfizer. Pays a dividend yield of 3.6%, once again above our 3% threshold as it relates to inflation. Pfizer, symbol PFE. Now, Pfizer seems to specialize in fits and starts. So understand that an investment in this big pharmaceutical company, okay, likely will result in a bad year here or there, and then a boom year here or there. But over the long haul, this well-heeled pharmaceutical giant is positioned to reach new heights. Let me break it down and explain to you. You see, Pfizer has its tentacles around just about every facet of the pharmaceutical business. It features drugs such as Prevnar, Lyrica, and Lipitor, but it also owns several consumer brands such as Advil and even boosts a generic business. Now, many analysts are becoming believers of this particular company and have upgraded the stock from neutral to overweight and lifting this particular company's stock price, we're talking about Pfizer symbol PFE's price, as a result of these upgrades by these analysts. Now, many analysts believe Pfizer shares are poised to outperform given global rollout of a number one growth driver stock called, medication called Ibrance. Now, this particular drug is one that treats breast cancer, and Pfizer is poised to get P.A.I.D from this particular drug. Now, all these products that I just mentioned are helping Pfizer recover operationally from a pretty significant dip from 2013 through 2014. In fact, the company's 2016 top line of $52.8 billion eclipsed its revenue from 3 years ago. And should Pfizer's pipeline of drugs get stale, well, the company has about $20 billion in cash and investments to throw at that particular problem. Also, any worries based on the company's dividend payout ratio are certainly a bit exaggerated. While the company is paying out about 90% of its profits in the form of dividends, it's hovering just above 50% of free cash flow. And that is right in yours truly safe zone for continued payout growth. Pfizer, symbol PFE, to get your P.A.I.D from the pharmaceutical arena. And this next company, this company throws off cash and gets paid over and over and over again. And while many people know of this company's competition, Public Storage, only the uber wealthy and those that truly know about this company, and they get P.A.I.D. Company's name is Life Storage, symbol LSI. Life Storage, symbol LSI. It pays a dividend of 4.9%. And that's above our 3% inflation index. Now, Life Storage is one of the several stocks in the widely attractive self-storage space. Now, I realize there's nothing wild about stashing a bunch of old furniture and keepsakes into a locker room somewhere. But suddenly, this particular company, okay, what is very intriguing about Life Storage, okay, is that this breathtakingly boring company, all right, it provides a consistent need for Americans, and that is a need for Americans to have some place to store their stuff, because innately most Americans are hoarders. You see, America has an ongoing need for self-storage in all times, boom or bust. Now, in the midst of sluggish economies, many families are forced to downsize. But when their things won't fit into a small house, they don't run off and sell everything. They put those very same things into storage units until they can expand back into a larger home. And when things are good, well, then consumers overbuy, finding themselves with too much stuff. And they call up companies like LSI for a solution. You know, it's funny. Well, I've spent time, a lot of time I might add, looking at real estate investment trusts that are either potential Amazon victims or Amazon proofs. I've come to realize through my research that, you see, self-storage units are seemingly Amazon abated with the simple and mindless purchasing platform that is e-commerce, only helping Americans acquire more stuff, okay? Now, as for Life Storage itself, the company operates 650 self-storage facilities across 29 states, and it has developed some serious technology to maximize profits with something known as a revenue management model. And that revenue management model helps monitor and adjust store pricing as it analyzes supply, demand, and its competition. And best of all, okay? Best of all, for new money out there that's trying to trade and invest, self-storage real estate investment trusts appear to be leveling out after more than a year of working up a momentum moving to the upside. So right now, self-storage REITs are not only priced for easy acquisition, but ready to spring back even higher than they were before. Family members, you want a sleeper that gets P.A.I.D in the self-storage arena? You're looking at Life Storage, symbol LSI. And I got a bonus for you. I've just given you 3 micro positions, individual stock positions. Now I'm going to give you a macro position, okay? A macro position that deals with dividend payers. We're talking about the ETF, the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, symbol V as in Victor, Y as in yes, and M as in Mary. VYM. Now, just this past close, Friday, it closed at $80.70, up 8 cents. However, year to date, VYM has gained over 8% versus a 12.62 rise in the benchmark S&P 500 index during the same period. This particular position is moving to the upside as dividend payers are indeed paying out more dividends and stabilizing their dividend paying capacity. So you want a macro position, talking about an ETF to get your P.A.I.D from dividend payers, you go with that VYM. You want to get P.A.I.D from a clever dividend payer that's paying more than 3%, that beats inflation, that is indeed serving a niche that is recessionary proof, and no matter whether or not the market is up or the market is down, it will get you P.A.I.D. We're talking about that life storage, symbol LSI. You want a very, very intelligent play in the pharmaceutical arena that's paying you more than 3.6% as far as a dividend, and that a position that has paid out its dividend consistently, okay, for years and years and years. Well, then guess what? You need to be thinking about that Pfizer, symbol PFE. And then you want to get P.A.I.D. from a company that provides what society needs. For as the Rothschilds said, Baron von Rothschild, okay, the leader of the Rothschild clan. As you know, he had 5 sons that he dispersed around the world to control capitalism. The father said, when you invest and or control in what society needs, you get paid all of the time. When you invest and control in what society wants, you get paid some of the time. The Southern Company provides something that society needs, and that is utilities. We're talking about the Southern Company, symbol SO. Dividend yield of 4.7%. They get your P.A.I.D. 3 set them and forget them positions, and 1 micro position, talking about that ETF, that will get you P.A.I.D. right now and forevermore. You're inside the classroom without walls, and I'm your humble host, Dr. Ken the Wiz Reeves. When we come back, you continue to take copious notes. You continue to record this radio broadcast, because we're going to see now what others see eventually, and we're going to look at 3 more dividend-paying positions that fly under the radar. These are indeed good times. As you, me, we, the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute family and listeners alike, give P.A.I.D. information that will get you P.A.I.D. right, N-O-W. It's not about that great by and by. It's about right now. Going to give you information about 3 under-the-radar dividend payers that the uber wealthy get P.A.I.D. from consistently. That's when we come back. And we also have a very, very special guest to present to you during the second hour of the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast.
Cell phones have become an integral tool in our lives, not only for communication, but also for providing an array of products and services that are needed. When someone needs a cell phone, they look for a quality product, value, and a high level of service. They want and need to know that if indeed there is a problem, they can talk to someone and get a solution. The truth is, all carriers are not the same. At True Wireless, our infrastructure and systems allow us to provide a higher level of service to customers with distinct needs. True Wireless is a nationwide wireless carrier and a licensed lifeline provider in 5 states, offering government-assisted wireless cell services and broadband services to those Americans who are eligible. True Wireless is also a subsidiary of a diversified publicly traded company, K6 Holdings Incorporated. K6 is expanding in telecom, media, and emerging blockchain technology related to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other digital currency applications. Our customers benefit from our expanded media and social marketing resources, as well as our ability to deploy new product offerings through our cell phones. At True Wireless, we are able to provide soft wallets and other financial technology services that bring dynamic aspects which provide life-enhancing benefits to our customers. We are proud of the products and services we offer. We are proud of our staff's years of training that result in the epitome of service our staff delivers. At True Wireless, we provide our customers with the latest tools and apps that we are able to pair with our cell phones. And we are especially proud to provide our customers a lifeline of communication. At True Wireless, we are engaged in our customers' communities. We don't simply talk about making a difference. We continually strive to provide better service and greater value to help those in need. The truth is, True Wireless is the difference. True Wireless is a subsidiary of K6 Holdings. K6 Holdings is traded on the OTC under the symbol KSIX. And we are a proud sponsor of the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute.
The information submitted during the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute's Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast is to be utilized for information and educational purposes only. Contact your personal financial and or investment advisor for trading and investing advice. Thank you for allowing us to be your community servants. Your money is so vital to you, to your family. Pension funds and 401ks have recently lost trillions of dollars. Massive job losses, rising prices, Wall Street bailouts while Main Street is shut out from the so-called American dream. Companies too big to fail. Hundreds of billions of dollars and hundreds of billions more of taxpayer money for this or for that. What about you? What do you do? You're smart, so you realize making smart decisions is more important than ever. Make a smart decision and become a part of the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute. Go to askthewiz.info to find out more right now. That's www.askthewiz.info. The Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute was founded and is led by Dr. Kenneth Reeves. Dr. Reeves is the Ph.D. economist, financial engineer, and chief investment strategist that is world-renowned for his tremendous guidance in helping to lead countless people to financial security. And he is known worldwide for telling it like it is in simple terms that everyone can understand. It's your hard-earned money, not theirs. Give it your best. Be a part of the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute. To research and join, call 404-523-9177 or go to the website at askthewiz.info. That's www.askthewiz.info. For only $50 per month. That's right, for only $1.66 per day with no contracts or long-term commitments, you will receive all the benefits of being a member of the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute. Join now by calling 404-523-9177 or go to the website at www.askthewiz.info. THEWIZ.info. That's the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute, www.ASKTHEWIZ.info. The Wiz thanks you for allowing him to be your community servant.
Indeed I do. Indeed I do. For it's an honor to serve each and every one of you 24/7, 365. And let us now go back to work. Now, family members and listeners alike, one of the things that the uber wealthy know and they utilize religiously, and I mean that religiously, is that they have dividend paying positions in their portfolios. Now, why, pray tell, would they always have dividend paying positions in their portfolio? And I mean this, if you look at anybody's portfolio that is uber wealthy, we're talking about the Warren Buffetts, we're talking about the Bill Gates, we're talking about the Tim Cooks of the world, we're talking about the movers and shakers in the world. They all will have dividend paying positions. And let me tell you why. And it's so very elementary. And it's because dividend paying stocks, they pay you for holding the stock. That's right. That's what a dividend is. A dividend is a payment back to the stockholder from the company that's issuing the stock. So, wouldn't it make sense for you to have dividend paying positions in your portfolio? Let me give you an elementary example. Let's say I walk up to you and I say, look, I'd like for you to invest into my company. The stock is only $1. So would you please consider investing in my company? Now listen to me closely. Now, if you invest nakedly in my company and say you bought 100 shares at $1 per share. So that means what? Simple math. You give me $100, I give you 100 shares of my stock. Okay? Now, if I'm not paying a dividend, as that stock moves down from $1 per share to 95 cents to 90 cents to 85 cents to 80 cents, as it's moving down, you're losing money because you gave me $1 per share. So when the stock moves from $1 to 95 cents, guess what? You just lost 5%. When it drops down to 90%, guess what? You just lost 10%. When it falls down to 85 cents, 15, 80 cents, 20. Okay? So there's no protection, if you will. Let's say, for instance, you don't put a stop limit or a stop loss on your acquisition from me. There's no protection to protect your investment from moving to the downside. So you got to hurry up and get out as it falls. Now, based upon your tolerance level and how much you believe in the company, you may let it stay in there thinking that the stock will rebound. And sometimes it does move back to the upside. But as long as that position is moving to the upside, you're fine. But just like things go up, there's a force out here that's available 24/7, 365. It's called gravity that's going to pull it down. And in trading and investing, nobody, George Soros, Carl Icahn, you name them, nobody makes money until they sell to close. Listen to me. You can invest all day in the markets, and I don't give a darn what market it is in it. But as long as your money is in the market, guess what? It's not in your pocket. Your money can't be two places at the same time, just like you can't be in two places at the same time. Listen to me. Becoming wealthy is not trigonometry. It's elementary. So don't make it trigonometry. Okay? It's arithmetic. Simple. Now back to my example. Now what if I walked up to you and I said, look, I'd like for you to buy stock in my company. It's only $1 a share. And what I'm going to do is for every stock you buy at $1 a share, I'm going to pay you 10 cents. Now that 10 cents that I pay you is the dividend, family members and listeners alike. So you say, well, wait a minute. Okay, then Kenneth. So say you buy 100 shares. All right? So that's $100, right? Now, at the end of the day, each share, if I'm paying you 10%, for instance, per annum, listen to me now. If I'm paying you 10% per annum, all right? And by the way, some companies pay out dividends quarterly, some pay out monthly, some pay out semi-annually, and some pay out annually. So let's say, for instance, I'm paying you 10% dividend. Now, you're not stupid. That means your $100 investment from day one is worth what? $100.10. In fact, it's worth 100, and because 10% of 100 is what? $1. Okay? Or when you multiply it, like we're going out, it's $10. Excuse me. So you're not stupid. So what are you going to do? You're going to hold your shares as long as the price, all right, doesn't fall down to $90. Why? Because if the position is moving up, you're getting that 10% dividend. But when the position falls down to $90, then the 10% dividend or the $10 has been eroded. That's when you sell the position. Otherwise, it's like you're in Vegas. You're playing with the house money. The house money is equal to 10%, which is equal to your dividend. That's what the uber wealthy do. And it's amazing. 99.9% of traders and investors don't know to do that. So how are you going to have any type of portfolio and you don't have dividend paying positions in your portfolio where you can play with the market house money and get paid? And if you ask yourself, when do you sell? You sell when the dividend is eroded. So the company either slashes its dividend or the company stops its dividend. When they do that, you get the Hades on. Or if the company stock falls, these are the three circumstances. The company stock falls equivalent to the amount of dividend, then you get the Hades on. An example, if you buy you have a $100 position in a particular stock that's paying a 10% dividend. When the stock price, and if it falls to $90, you sell. Why? Because the dividend equivalency is eroded. It's gone. You don't have any more house money to play with. So if I don't have house money to play, I don't want to play anymore. I'm out of here. I'm gone. Is that simple or what? It is. And that's why I tell people whenever I tour, whenever I'm speaking, I say, look, don't make arithmetic trigonometry. Keep it simple. So that's why you see all of the uber wealthy, not some, all of them have dividend paying stocks in their position. And what do they set their trailing stops? Their trailing stops are set equal to the amount of dividend. Dividend goes, they go. Going. So now, let yours truly have the pleasure of presenting 3 more dividend-paying stocks that fly under the radar that will get you P.A.I.D. Now, I'm going to expose a major mistake that way too many traders and investors make. And then I'm going to reveal 3 totally ignored positions whose dividends are soaring as I speak. They yield up to 5.8% now and are poised for a 50+% gain in short order. So listen to me closely and take copious notes. And if you got any youngsters or children, pull them closely to you, because I'm going to explain this to you in a manner that even they will understand. Get them, cognitively enriched, excuse the pun. All right? So that they can blow past becoming rich and go straight to becoming wealthy. Now, first we need to talk about that classic wealth-killing blunder that so many people make. And the funny thing is, it's one of those moves that seems like the safest thing to do. But if you fall into this particular trap, you'll leave a fortune in gains and income on the table. I'm talking about limiting your portfolio to just household names of the S&P 500. You see, I hate to see investors do that, especially because there's another much bigger group of stocks out there that have thoroughly outgunned the popular names. But these unsung wealth builders don't get nearly the respect they deserve. I'm talking about mid-cap stocks. Write that down, mid-cap stocks. Or companies with market capitalizations between $2 billion and $10 billion, okay? $2 billion and $10 billion. All right, mid-cap stocks. Now, mid-caps are in a sweet spot that gives you the best of all worlds. Higher liquidity than you'll find in small caps, but faster growth than you'll ever get from large caps. And here's something that will probably surprise you. Mid-caps have clobbered their small and large cap cousins over the long haul. Even better, mid-caps have taken a bit of a breather this year, so many haven't seen the big price run-ups the market's biggest players have racked up. Translation? Guess what? It's time to go bargain hunting. Now, here are two other reasons why these particular positions, we're talking about these mid-caps, why they deserve possible inclusion into your portfolio upon completion of the appropriate drill down. Number one, they pay dividends. And unlike small caps, which mostly plow their profits back into their businesses, mid-caps pay dividends, and sometimes big dividends. Okay? Now, next, these particular positions, for instance, I'm about to give you, they're off the radar. Wall Street largely ignores mid-caps. And one of the stocks that I'm about to tell you about has just 2 analysts covering it. Compare that to Apple, the biggest U.S. company by market cap, that has 32 analysts covering it. You see, that thin coverage is fine for you, me, we, the ATWWI Wealth Institute family, because we get a wider field in which to find bargains than we'll ever get in the large cap universe. So without further ado, here are 3 mid-caps that you should consider for possible inclusion to your portfolio upon completion of the appropriate drill down. First one, Penske Automotive Group. Penske Automotive Group, symbol P.A.I.D. Now, this stock has been sideswiped by worries about decelerating car sales that have been falling 13% this year. Too bad that Penske's management didn't get that memo, though, because the company, which is the owner of car and commercial truck dealerships throughout the United States, Canada, and Western Europe, they saw record numbers of vehicles roll off of their lots in the second quarter, up 13% from a year ago, along with record revenues, up 2.5%, and earnings per share up 10.8%. The reason? The automotive group is diversified. This company has dealerships in both the high-end and low-end market. For instance, 6% of the Penske Automotive Group has Porsche dealerships. 1% have Bentley dealerships. 14% have Audi dealerships. 4% have Volkswagen dealerships. 3% have Ferrari and Maserati dealerships. 10% have Toyota dealerships. 3% have Lexus dealerships. 10% have Mercedes-Benz dealerships. 3% have Ford and General Motors dealerships. 8% have Land Rover and Jaguar dealerships. 7% have Honda dealerships. 1% have Acura dealerships. 1% have Nissan dealerships. And 23% have BMW and Mini Cooper dealerships. You want diversification in the automotive arena? Penske Automotive, symbol P.A.I.D. Now here's where that pays off. You see, through July, U.S. car sales were down 2.9% from a year earlier. That sounds bad, but remember, we're coming off of a string of record years. And Penske didn't even notice, thanks to his brand diversification that I just went over. And one other big factor, they have huge growth in used car sales. In Q2, the company wheeled 66,208 second-hand cars, up 25.1% from a year ago, talking about used cars, and more than 63,919 new cars that it sold, and that's up 2.8%. You see, this management at Penske Automotive Group can shift gears like this. And even if sales do hit a pothole, we get a cushion thanks to P.A.I.D's cheap 10.7 price to earnings ratio and its dividend, which yields right at 3%. and has risen every single quarter since 2011. Penske Automotive Group, or P.A.G, a position that flies under the radar, but gets the uber wealthy P.A.I.D. Next position I want to bring to you is a low-key innovator with a 5.8% payout. I'm talking about EPR Properties. EPR Properties, trades under the symbol EPR. Now, EPR has cracked the secret to profiting from millennials. Okay? And what they do is they sell millennials experiences and not stuff. Let me repeat that. They sell millennials experiences and not stuff. You see, the data backs that up. According to a recent study by the Harris Group, 72% of the millennial generation would rather spend their cash, okay, and spend it now. So EPR, which is the symbol for EPR Properties, EPR is custom built for trends like this. So here's a quick overview of the real estate investments trust businesses, which includes 378 locations in the United States and Canada. You see, EPR is firmly rooted and stands in the entertainment arena, where they provide access to megaplex theaters and entertainment centers. They're also in the recreational arena, which includes ski resorts, top golf entertainment complexes, and water parks. And then they're in the educational arena, including public charter schools and early childhood education. And those properties are packed. As of June the 30th of this year, this particular position, okay, we're talking about EPR, they boast a sky-high 99.3% occupancy rate. That's about as high as you can get. That translates into rising funds from operations, okay, and lighting a fire under EPR's dividend. The stock pays a gaudy 5.8% as I'm speaking to you. But that's just the start. It pays the dividend monthly, beloved, monthly, I said, and grows its payout every year. Where else are you going to get information like this? Not on Bloomberg, not on CNBC. No, right here in the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast. Now, EPR's hikes have been far from token. Last year's hikes came in at 6.25%, and EPR's payout is accelerating, pulling the share price up along with it. Now, EPR can easily keep the hikes coming. It paid out 82% of trailing 12-month FFO as dividends, easily manageable for this particular position. It also trades at 20.7 times FFO, which is reasonable for the dividend growth and upside here. EPR to get your P.A.I.D. And the third position I want to give you, that is paying the uber wealthy consistently, but you hear very little about this company. But the facts are the facts, and the empirical data is there. And like we always say in the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute, trust but verify. So do your own due diligence on the information that I am submitting to you. This last mid-cap is Brookfield Property Partners. Brookfield Property Partners trades under the symbol BPY. BPY boasts a 5.1% dividend yield and is even cheaper than EPR, which I just mentioned, trading at just 16.5 times trailing 12-month FFO. BPY, whose market cap clocks in at about $6 billion, is another jack of all trades, with malls and office towers and industrial properties, shopping centers, and apartments the world over. You see, BPR has about 250 million square feet of space in all. And like BPY. And like EPR, it aims to hand you a nice mix of high yields and dividend growth. Now we know because management says so, with a stated goal of 5 to 8% yearly payout growth. So far, it's been true to that pledge. Since it was spun off from Brookfield Asset Management in 2014, BPY has hiked its quarterly payout 3 times for an average yearly increase of 5.7%. It should have no problem sticking to that promise. The payout is well covered at just 81% of FFO, and management doesn't see that ratio going higher thanks to a robust FFO growth forecast. And the kicker is this, family members and listeners alike. BPY is a bargain at 16.4 times FFO. Family members, giving you information that the uber wealthy use to get paid, not sometime, but all the time. Monetize this information and you too will get P.A.I.D. Under the radar, mid caps, paying dividends that will get you P.A.I.D. Brookfield Property Partners, symbol BPY. EPR Property, symbol EPR. And Penske Automotive Group, symbol P.A.G. You're inside the classroom with our Walls radio broadcast, where we're serious about getting you P.A.I.D. consistently. Why? Because you're kings and queens and your gods and goddesses. Retake your thrones. It all begins in your mind, because the mind controls the behind. If only you believe.
If you believe within your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you say it's yours. Believe that you can go home. Believe you can float on air. Then click your heels 3 times if you believe. Then you'll be Believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic that's inside your heart. Believe all these things, not because I told you to, but believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, just believe in yourself as I believe in you.
Amen and ashe. Now, family members, I need for you to pay close attention, as well as you, listeners alike. We need to really get serious and discuss for a few minutes exactly what the stock market is and what it is not. First of all, there's no such thing as a stock market. Listen to me. There is no such thing as a stock market. There is a market of stocks. So every stock that's out there is not necessarily a stock that should command your attention. You must be wise, and you must make sure that you are actualizing, which means buying to open, positions that are indeed positions that are worthy of your time, that are worthy of your inclusion into your portfolio. And you must then look for positions that have, as Warren Buffett describes, as an economic moat. Positions that are uniquely positioned to provide what society needs. Listen to me. Provide what society needs, but also provide it in a means that takes advantage of technology in a cutting-edge modality. When you run across companies like this, these are companies that will get your grandchildren P.A.I.D. And as you know, all right, the acronym P.A.I.D. in the Wealth Institute means profits and income daily. And as I indicated earlier in today's radio broadcast, the leader of the Rothschild family, when he sent his 5 sons to spread out across the world and to make sure that they monopolize capitalism as we know it today, okay? They knew that once again, investing in what society needs will allow you to get paid all of the time. Investing in what society wants will allow you to get paid some of the time. And at this particular time, I have the distinct honor to present to you a gentleman that has a very, very avant-garde thought process pertaining to getting P.A.I.D. He has merged the concept of the Rothschilds by providing something that society now has moved into the realm of needing, because 20 years ago it was a want. But now very few people do not have a cell phone. I told you this many times. I have gone to get on the interstates here in Atlanta, and under the bridges, we have homeless people that are living there. And while I have witnessed homeless people living under those bridges, the irony of it is I see them living under the bridge, but they're talking on a cell phone. And I'm indicated to you, my Wealth Institute family members in our virtual trader room, about a month ago, I was on a flight. This lady left her cell phone in the airport terminal, and the plane was being pushed back. She had what we call a conniption. You would have thought she left her child at the airport. She wanted her cell phone. And think about you. Could you go without a day or perhaps a week without a cell phone? Think about this. When Hurricane Harvey hit and Hurricane, Irma hit here in the United States. Think about this now. Here in Atlanta, we were out. My particular studios and whatnot was without electricity for 4 days. And in Houston, peace and blessings be upon them, it was far worse. Although electricity was down, the main focus was what? On keeping and getting those cell phones up. There's a new technology now called blockchain, which ties itself to cryptocurrencies, which we're about to get into in just a few minutes, that are now being linked to cell phones. And those companies, I dare say, that have the capacity to monetize that fusion, if you will, the applicability of technical technology being utilized by and through cell phones, and the new technical advancements in the world, from blockchain to you name it, medical records transference, okay, social interaction and things of that nature, all is coming to the world through handheld devices, i.e. cell phones. Having said that, I have the distinct honor to have the gentleman that I made reference to just a few minutes ago that has the avant-garde thought process capability to merge a need of society of these days, telephones, cell phone telephones, with the technology that's available on the cutting edge. Meld them together as one and bring them to you, the general public. I'm talking about having available to you now the CEO of the publicly traded company K6, on the line with us now, Mr. Brian Cox. Welcome, Ms. Cox, to the Class Without Walls radio broadcast. Let's make sure we pull him in. Mr. Cox, are you there? Stand by just a second. Okay, Mr. Cox, can you hear me? Mr. Cox, are you there? I see the problem. Stand by. I love live radio. There he is. Mr. Cox, are you there?
Hello.
There you go, Mr. Cox. Brian Cox, welcome to the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast. Mr. Cox? Okay, it must be on his end because we have a live feed. Mr. Cox? Okay, here we go again. Mr. Cox, are you there? There you go, Mr. Cox, are you there? Yes, you're there. There you go. Modern technology is wonderful, and we're going to be talking about technology when it works. Welcome, Mr. Cox, the CEO of K6. Mr. Cox?
Hello, Dr. Reeves.
Yes, okay, great. We've got you. Mr. Cox, once again, we want to say, as I said earlier today when I spoke with you, I really appreciate you taking the time to join us here inside the Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast, and we're excited about what K6 is doing and how it's going to change society as we know it. Tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, how you became involved with K6, and the great things that K6 is bringing to society. Mr. Cox?
Hello, Dr. Reeves.
Yes, we are fine. Go ahead. Okay, he's in a bad area. Hold on a second here. Right now, we're about to rebuke Satan and all of the evil forces, and we're going to make this happen. Failure is not an option. Here we go. Okay, Mr. Cox? Mr. Cox, are you there?
Hey, Dr. Reeves, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Mr. Cox.
Hello, Dr. Reeves.
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Cox?
Dr. Reeves, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead. We're going to go back to a redundant system and pipe you in through a redundant system. Please tell the listeners a little bit about you, how you became affiliated with K6, and what tremendously innovative things K6 is going to be doing for society as we know it.
Okay, well, Dr. Reeves, first of all, thanks for having me on. Glad we were able to get our connection situated, which I guess we just proved how important communication is in our daily walk. So that was excellent. And hey, before we get started, I will say I was able to hear your intro, and I tell you what, it's almost like you took my sermon notes on a lot of the things that I preach. The background, as you know, is dealing with providing lower income and the unbanked with products and services that they weren't able to get in the past. And, I personally, I've been in telecom for 16 years. And the way that I built our companies, and, we built them through growth organically and then also through acquisition. But the reason we were able to connect so well with customers as a company is because I had my education in what customers need on the street. I was not in a tall building with big chandeliers wearing a coat and tie. I was out meeting people traveling all throughout the Southeast and sitting in some of these places, and whether it be the corner stores, the pawn shops, the check cashing stores, people that had needs that were not being met, people that were just scraping by, and people that were hurting. And how can we get these people products and services that they need and they want? And I was able to watch the transition over the last 15 years of wireless service becoming not just a want anymore, but a need.
Yes.
And I know this wasn't something you asked me, but I want you to know, I get in my email box, I'm copied on all of our customer service inquiries. And about once a week, I'll take a couple of moments and I'll go through and I'll just pick a few of the emails, and I'll just read them. And you can feel the people's thankfulness for our products. Or let's say someone breaks a phone, and they depend on that phone so much, whether it's a child with special needs or a single mom or a family that the husband just lost a job trying to get by and trying to make it, and they need the new employer to have a number to call them back for that next job. And I mean, those types of things, I mean, this is a need in our culture. When you fill out a form for anything now, the first thing they ask you, your email address and your cell phone number. You know, the days of home address and home phone, if you look at your forms now, look at the priorities that those have been given. It's startling, and we definitely have had a shift in our culture as to what's important. So with that said, hey, I'm glad we got hooked up. I'm an open book. I'd love to help you and your listeners get to know us, get to know me. Fire away.
Okay, now, first of all, let's educate the listeners on exactly what exchange that K6 is traded upon, the associative symbol for K6, and exactly what K6 and its subsidiary, True Wireless, actually does, the service that it provides, and the associative product, i.e. the cell phones that are supplied by True Wireless.
Sure. I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of how I came to know K6 and kind of the rest is history. So, as you know, I am the CEO and owner of True Wireless. We distribute cell phones and wireless services in 5 states. We've done very well. We've been very blessed since I bought the company in 2011. The company was doing about $20,000 a month. Now we're doing over $1.2 million a month. So, you know, we work very hard. We're very good at what we do. One of the areas of our program, well, let me explain the program too. Anyone that's on government assistance, whether it be Medicaid, whether it be a veteran's pension, whether it be SNAP or food stamp benefits, any type of government assistance payments, they qualify for subsidized wireless service. Now, there's an onboarding process that we need to go through to get them on board, but our biggest challenge is getting in front of customers. So one of the areas that wasn't hit, and about a year ago, we were looking at, hey, we need to have a better online presence. So we set out on our own, doing Google ads, trying to do Facebook, trying to do all these things, and at the same time trying to run a company. Making sure that our customer service is excellent, making sure that our compliance is excellent, all of the facets that go to run a company. Well, so I realized I needed help. So I asked around, I got referred to K6, I had a meeting. I didn't believe that someone could do better than us, but I told them I'd give them a shot. Within 30 days, they did 3 times the sales at half the cost per acquisition. Needless to say, me being the entrepreneur, I scheduled our follow-up meeting. Guys, how are you able to do that? They said, well, it's simple. We have a multi-million-dollar software that's running a back engine, plugged into Google, plugged into Facebook, has profiles. It detects what type of person is choosing to sign up for your product, and it starts learning, almost at an artificial intelligence level, the profile of the perfect customer for True Wireless. So your ad dollars go further, and they're spent more efficiently. And we catch, it's kind of like only catching the tuna and not any of the fish that are banned. We're only catching we're only getting in front of the customers. We're spending your money wisely. So immediately light bulbs go off everywhere for me at that point. We start talking back and forth. Next thing you know, we're discussing a merger. Last December, the merger, as it was laid out, was going to be with, for the most part, me selling True Wireless to the company, and then taking a back seat and having a good number of shares, and then going on and doing my next thing. As things played out, and as negotiations and deals often do, we worked through that. That deal fell apart a little bit. It wasn't, with what we built, sometimes it is the race car driver. It's not the race car. So we renegotiated the deal, and our team is merging with K6. Our team has taken control, and I took over as CEO and chairman of the board. Now, what that got us down the field, if you will, with a company that can not only advertise True Wireless through social media. And by the way, let me sidebar and say, as you're well aware, advertising, even TV stations now, because I get approached by television stations all the time wanting me to obviously buy advertising space, advertising time. But even they incorporate social media advertising. Before, they used to push the 6 o'clock news in Oprah and Good Morning America, or whatever the morning show was. Now it's social media. That's what everybody has. Why? Example that you gave earlier. The gentleman who may be homeless, the single mom, the older person on Medicaid, they may not watch the news, but you know what? They're on their phone. And that is how we reach people. So not only do we have this mechanism where now we have a competitive advantage, because now we've merged with the advertising company that does our marketing. Now we can take this and being thinkers and surrounding ourselves with thinkers. Well, this is one tiny product that most people have never even heard of. There's millions of products out there. The company K6 was created to market any product through social media. Now, let me back up for a minute and let you know, K6 Media was the public company. Well, how did they get public? Well, they got public because they were doing $400,000 a month in ad revenue at about 25% profit. Now, you know me being the entrepreneur, obviously that stood out to me too. Now, what happened was, when K6 went public, there's a lot of things that you have to do to be a public company, as you well know. And they got a little caught up in being a public company. They took their eyes off the crosshairs of revenue, and revenue slipped. And then when this merger came around, the management became consumed with the merger. So with K6's revenue dropping to below 100,000 on its own, obviously you and I both know you're going to have a little bit of a hiccup there. So that's another exciting thing for me about this merger. The entire management team at K6 that was focused on being a public company, that was focused on merging with True, can now go back 100% to being focused on revenue. The same exact people that were driving $400K a month at 25% profit have been given the directive from me. You have no other concern in your life. When you wake up, when you pour your Cheerios, you're thinking revenue. When you go to sleep and your head hits the pillow, you're thinking revenue. And everything in between. Revenue, revenue. Get all of the facets of business that you've been consumed with for the past year and a half no longer interest you. Because we brought with us a fantastic, proven team, top to bottom. And that's been, and so you really need to look at K6 as 3 different divisions that are intertwined. So that's the social media division. Now let me jump over to True Wireless. And let me tell you about some exciting news as we discussed a couple of days ago, Doctor, about True Wireless. We, again, $1.2 million a month, and we're in 5 states. We just added 30 states.
Excellent.
We've not realized one dime of revenue from that yet. We're deploying, what has to go into that is there's a couple states where we will be putting feet on the street, and then we are syncing up our software systems right now so that what you do is you take your coverage maps of your wireless carriers, T-Mobile, AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, and you map those as a cross-section across those states, and then you figure out what customers you want to target where. And you let the K6 software do its work, which again is a competitive advantage, and no other lifeline company has the ability to do that. So we can strategically target how fast we want to grow. So, needless to say, we're extremely excited about that, because I know we've discussed that before. What is the revenue possibilities there? I can't fathom that it would not be at least double what we're doing now, conservatively. But I actually think it's my job to throttle the sales to make sure that we march perfectly down there with long-term value. Always our focus, not how much revenue can we do tomorrow, but we implode because we're unable to deliver an excellent product. So that's where my thought process in the fact that, as you know, when I grew a home telephone company from one of my spare bedrooms to the largest privately owned in the country, I did that by monitoring and managing cash flow and growth organically and through acquisition. And the way that you do that is surround yourself as, well, it take a great example, professional sports. They have proven the best players win, period. So I've taken that and I've applied that to business. I firmly believe it. You surround yourself with the absolute best people that can cover all of the bases that you're not strongest in. For example, if you take a couple of moments and look at our website, I'm not an attorney. I'm not. Didn't go to law school. But you know what? Two of the guys on our board not only they did it with honors. They're fantastic resumes. I know them personally. They're great people. I'm not an accountant. I've never been a CPA. But you know what? One of the gentlemen on our board is, and he was also named by Inc. 500 3 times and awarded as one of the fastest growing companies in the country. So you see my propensity to surround myself with the folks that have the skill sets that I don't.
And
So we
listeners,
put that team together. I mean, Joe Montana and Tom Brady would not have been a good two-man football team. They can't throw to each other.
that's right.
So that's that philosophy that I've put together, as you well know, and that's what works. And now that we're on day 61 of my as CEO of this company, I can tell you that we've moved mountains. Now I'm nowhere near. I'm not even really happy right now. My 90 days was my target. We mentioned earlier when you become focused on other things, things slip a little bit. There were some filings that K6 was late on. We're catching them all up right now. All hands on deck. I immediately, my first couple of weeks in, we switched over to an accounting firm that was more than a one-man operation where they could deploy 3 to 4 people all day, every day, all hands on deck, working with our folks to get caught up. That is my number one priority. Getting caught up, getting all of our filings caught up. And as you well know, and we've had a heart-to-heart about this, Doctor, I'm not content being the CEO of an OTC company.
Hold 1 second. Mr. Cox? Hold 1 second, listeners. Mr. Cox?
Hey, I think I lost you.
Yeah, okay, you said you're not concerned with being one. Go ahead.
Okay, hey, I apologize for that. But and I'll wrap up, and I apologize. I'm preaching a sermon.
No problem. We're loving it. And by the way,
Hopefully you can tell. And actually, this is perfect timing. I'm fired up. I'm enthusiastic. This keeps me awake at night. Night and day, 7 days a week. I know that this is probably not going to be believed, but you'll believe it because you've talked to me enough. But we finish conference calls at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning because we're so excited we can't wait till the morning to talk to each other.
exactly.
We game plan out. There's a specific strategy to get to where we're going. And none of the people that I've brought on board, you go look at ksix.com, k6.com. I want you to look at the team. Look at the board. Not one of those people are doing this for a job. Not one of those people are doing this to pay the light bill. They're doing this for where we're going. They've bought a ticket for where we're going. I'm driving the ship. And where we're going is not the OTC. It's not being a great OTC company. Our goals are to catch the company up in the next 30 days completely. Get everything caught up. There's nothing wrong with the core fundamentals of the company. It's just there's an audit that was turned in that's being done that's behind, and the reviews. Everything is ready to go in package.
You're listening
So
to
we get the company.
You're listening to Brian Cox, the CEO of K6, and he's given us some time out of his busy day to talk a little bit about K6, which is the publicly traded company on the OTC under the symbol KSIX, and he's talking a little bit about their subsidiary, which is True Wireless, which is a member of the Lifeline program provided and subsidized by the U.S. government. And what we'd like to do, Mr. Cox, could you tell us a little bit about the blockchain technology, which is this new state-of-the-art technology as it ties itself to cryptocurrency, and how that's going to help migrant workers with regards to wiring money near and abroad?
Sure thing. And that, I tell you what, that's almost a 30-minute call in itself.
I got 8 minutes.
I'm trying to package that up for you as neatly as I can so that folks can understand, what our goals are there, and also how that ties into wireless.
I've got 8 minutes.
I'll talk fast.
Okay.
I'll talk fast. All right. Blockchain technology and the distributed ledger. As you well know, and anybody that's watching the news now knows that that's changing everything. So how are we adapting that? Well, for one, we're adding applications to our phones. We've got 2 applications under development right now, in addition to a soft wallet. So the 2 applications are going to help folks to, whether they're playing games or doing what have you, they're going to be able to earn Bitcoin. There'll be more about that on the website, so we can catch up about that later. The question you had was about the soft wallet. When folks are able to go in and exchange local currency, they're able to exchange it for digital currency, cryptocurrency. They're able to store it in their wallet. They're able to see a relative anywhere in the world, and they're able to transfer the value to that relative where they have access without some of the big unnamed banks taking 10% of their hard-earned money. That's exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. That's right.
Exactly what you're talking about. And the fact that we have right now, you've asked me before, Brian, how can you scale up so fast? How do you plan to do that? How can you possibly grow? Well, we do that because we've already got a 120-person operations center that's bilingual. That's how we do it. We could triple the size of our revenue next week and not hire a single person. So that's very important too, because when you're dealing with the Hispanic population, obviously you need to have folks that speak Spanish. I got 120 of them. We're covered there. So and by the way, let me sidebar. Yeah, I couldn't speak of this yesterday, Doctor. But now I can. The newest addition to our board, who by the way was the former director of banking and financial regulation for the state of Illinois, the former commerce secretary for the state of Illinois, who won awards for coming in and cleaning up and fixing the governance and compliance of their state, which you and I both know if you can do that in Illinois, you've got a magic carpet. So Manny Flores was just appointed to the Illinois blockchain. It's a blockchain technology task force for the state of Illinois. He's on our K6 board. He's looking out for our back. He now is one of us. He's on our team. Excellent. He is on the governor-appointed blockchain technology task force for the state of Illinois, not only to implement blockchain technology into their state, but to help make them a hub, kind of a Silicon Valley, if you will, on the .com era for blockchain technology. That's the kind of people that we've got on board, Dr. Reeves. That's the kind of people that are on this team. That's the kind of people who are not only cheering for K6, that are helping me drive K6. So you ask yourself, why would a guy like that want to jump on an OTC board or a pink sheet board? He wouldn't. He knows where we're going and he knows where we're going to be. And he knows what this is going to mean to his family and his relatives, just like what you mentioned earlier in your show.
Excellent, excellent. Listeners, you're listening to the voice of Mr. Brian Cox. He's the CEO of K6, which is an OTC traded under the symbol KSIX, and he's talking a little bit about one of their subsidiaries, which is True Wireless, and the very, very wonderful service that they provide, which society needs, okay, buying through their telecommunication service, and then also how they're tying in telecommunications with state-of-the-art technology. Now, Mr. Cox, as we close, could you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you're going to be doing as you've added on 30 additional states, now making it 35 states that True Wireless will be in? Tell us a little bit, just briefly, give me the Reader's Digest version of what the investor, the person that wants to go and buy K6 stock, which is today trading at 42 cents a share, very, very affordable, up in the last week and a week and a half from 34, 35 cents a share, moving to the upside. There's been a tremendous move to the upside since your announcement as a CEO in August of this year. The position moved straight up immediately as, stocks and volume has increased as well. But tell us what one should expect from True Wireless, which would then pass through to K6 within the next, quarter as it relates to the acquisition of 30 additional states, putting True Wireless in 35 states cumulatively.
Hey, I sure will. And you did mention something before I tell you that. The reason that moved up is not because K6 changed overnight, is because the people that know that I've done $400 million in revenue in telecommunications in the last 15 years knew that I would bring that same mentality tenfold to the table in a public company. So that's why it's moving up. But with the question you asked, what is our game plan and how are we going to do it? The Reader's Digest. We're going to continue pushing in the urban markets just as we've always done. We're going to roll out a massive advertising plan online. We've already got a veterans plan put together and an initiative to push out to veterans. Any veterans pension, and by the way, this is not, our grandfathers who served in World War II. For the first time in 100 years, the largest contingency of veterans are the ones from the most recent conflicts. So these are people that are 30 years old, 40 years old on veterans pension, whether they're disabled or not, who qualify for substantially subsidized wireless service. Good service too, by the way. This isn't just, like a government phone. These are Androids with a good quality service, a good plan. We've got Contigo Mobile, which, as we talked before, Contigo means with you in Spanish. That is going to be pushed out for folks. That's not going to be the government subsidized piece, but we're going to, since we're already going to be in these 35 states, we're already going to be set up in retail. Why not go ahead and offer the Hispanic folks a fantastic deal too, which includes, by the way, unlimited texting to most Central American countries. We've got Heart Mobile. Heart Mobile is a specifically targeted extra assistance product for the elderly and for people with disabilities. I told you at the very beginning, one of our niches has always been trying to find groups of people that we just felt like we're not taking care of. The elderly and people with disabilities with special additional functions and applications just specifically for those groups to help them a little bit more than the average customer might need. And by the way, most of those all qualify for the Lifeline discount.
Excellent.
So we've got an army on multiple fronts that we're pushing forward. And you know me, I'm very aggressive. I'm offensively minded. We're going full blast attack. And we've got the team behind, which now you understand why I built such a team for 60 days before I hit the gas. I wanted to make sure that we were built to run through brick walls and also go the distance. And when I need to hit the turbo, that we're there and we got it. So
excellent.
I tell you, for the next 30 days, there's a few more things that we're going to be putting together. And on day 90, I'm hitting that turbo. So I would say that you've definitely done your listeners a service for the timing of where the price is right now, because you've got people that are working every single day to make sure that they do their best so that every one of our shareholders' investments appreciate in value.
You're listening to the voice of Mr. Brian Cox. He's taken time out of his very busy day, and Mr. Cox is indeed the CEO of K6, which is publicly traded on the OTC under the symbol KSIX. And Mr. Cox, I'd like to extend an invitation to you to visit with us at least once a month here inside the Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast. I know you're very busy, but we'd like to keep up with the ongoing progress of K6 and True Wireless.
Hey, you know what? I would appreciate that. Now, the only thing, I love talking with you. Now, if you would talk to me if I was a NASDAQ CEO, right?
Indeed.
You wouldn't stop talking to me just because, because if I was a CEO that was not on the OTC anymore, you still talk to me, right?
Yeah,
we'll be friends?
Absolutely, and hopefully you'll come down off of that throne and spend some time with us as well as you move up from the OTC to the NASDAQ.
You're wrong, because my mentality, first of all, I'd never
Exactly.
We'd turn that throne into a bleachers, and we'd have a party and a blast.
Well said. I can imagine that.
I promise I can make it.
Mr. Cox, once again, thank you so much for your time, and you have an open invitation to visit with us anytime here inside the classroom without walls.
The pleasure was all mine. Everyone in the sound of my voice, have a fantastic day and a great week.
You've been listening to the voice of Mr. Brian Cox, once again, CEO of K6. And like always, he's it's so amazing to listen to him, because that type of enthusiasm is indeed this gentleman 24/7, 365. For further information pertaining to K6 and True Long Wireless, visit www.ksix.com. You've been inside the classroom without walls. I'm your humble servant, Dr. Kendall Wiz Reeves, saying thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day. I want to remind you that we do this each Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast. And for those of you that are members of the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute family, I want to remind you that we'll be in the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute Virtual Trade Room from 9:30 until 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow on Wednesday, the 27th of September, as we make Wall Street payers right here on Main Street. Peace and blessings be upon each and every one of you. This ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute Classroom Without Walls radio broadcast is now dismissed.
Cell phones have become an integral tool in our lives, not only for communication, but also for providing an array of products and services that are needed. When someone needs a cell phone, they look for a quality product, value, and a high level of service. They want and need to know that if indeed there is a problem, they can talk to someone and get a solution. The truth is, all carriers are not the same. At True Wireless, our infrastructure and systems allow us to provide a higher level of service to customers with distinct needs. True Wireless is a nationwide wireless carrier and a licensed lifeline provider in 5 states, offering government-assisted wireless cell services and broadband services to those Americans who are eligible. True Wireless is also a subsidiary of a diversified publicly traded company, K6 Holdings Incorporated. K6 is expanding in telecom, media, and emerging blockchain technology related to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other digital currency applications. Our customers benefit from our expanded media and social marketing resources, as well as our ability to deploy new product offerings through our cell phones. At True Wireless, we are able to provide soft wallets and other financial technology services that bring dynamic aspects which provide life-enhancing benefits to our customers. We are proud of the products and services we offer. We are proud of our staff's years of training that result in the epitome of service our staff delivers. At True Wireless, we provide our customers with the latest tools and apps that we are able to pair with our cell phones. And we are especially proud to provide our customers a lifeline of communication. At True Wireless, we are engaged in our customers' communities. We don't simply talk about making a difference. We continually strive to provide better service and greater value to help those in need. The truth is, True Wireless is the difference. True Wireless is a subsidiary of K6 Holdings. K6 Holdings is traded on the OTC under the symbol KSIX. And we are a proud sponsor of the Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute.